Welcome back, everybody. This is Mason here with Flash Review. Today we've had a very special video for you. Every year, gun manufacturers create new designs and features that make their pistols lighter, easier to shoot, and more ergonomic. Although we're only ending the first quarter of the new year, there are quite a few pistols that are making a big splash in sales for 2022. I thought it would be cool to show you the top 5 pistols based on online sales. As you'd imagine, Glock, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Taurus are well represented. I've included all calibers, including the 10mm 45 ACP and the 22 LAR because according to guns.com, the list below includes the top 5 selling handguns in the first 7 months of 2022. Regardless of the order in sales, each one of these pistols is a great asset to anyone's arsenal. Good luck, stay safe, and enjoy your new guns. Glock 43X. The Glock 43X is effectively a Glock 43 with a slightly wider and taller frame to increase the grip size and capacity from 6 rounds to 10 rounds of 9mm. It is one of Glock's 2 slimline pistols introduced at the 2019 SHOT Show. The Glock 43X is intended to be a concealed carry gun. It's no surprise to anyone that the best-selling gun on the planet right now is the Glock 43X. The Glock 43X is the answer for shooters who want a top-shelf CCO, but also want to shoot with precision at 50 yards. The Glock 43X has the same height as the Glock 19 Gen 5, but that's pretty much where the comparison stops. Glock built the G19 and the G43X at the same height because they want both guns to be easily concealed. The Glock 43X only weighs 1.44 ounces loaded and features a light 5.4 ounces trigger pull weight. The G43X is a part of the new Slimline series from Glock that provides the same reliability, dependability, and performance as standard Glock frames, but a thinner slide and pistol grip for optimal concealment in any environment. One thing I really do like about the Glock 43X is there are a lot of aftermarket options, probably more so than any other gun in its class. Taurus G3C. The Taurus G3C was a sneaky one. It premiered quickly without much build-up. No big NRA or SHOT Show reveal. Taurus was just like bam, here it is. The G3C builds off the G3, a full-sized pistol released last year. The C stands for compact, and notably, the G3C is a shrunken variant of the G3. The Taurus G3C seems to want to keep the theme of producing affordable handguns aimed at shooters on a budget. So what kind of upgrades did Taurus add for the next-gen budget pistol? The G3C moved away from the manual safety to fall in line with what most striker-fired pistol manufacturers are going toward. I like the rough textured grip and the ergonomics of the pistol, but the stock sights are awful, so I'd recommend replacing them with aftermarket Nike sights. The 6-pound trigger feels lighter than it is, but I think it's because of the extra longer trigger distance. A lot of people like to claim Taurus makes good revolvers, but bad automatics. In my experience, the opposite is true. Their automatic pistols seem to be much more reliable than their revolvers. The G3C is not a compact handgun variant of the G3, but the successor to the very popular G2C handgun. The G3C features several upgrades over the G2C. These improvements include front and rear slide serrations, as well as the front and rear sight are steel sights. The trigger is the 3rd-generation Taurus trigger and is a flat-face trigger with a much larger trigger safety. Guns.com lists the Taurus G3C at only $267.99 for the newest and most affordable carrying a concealed weapon CCO I've seen since the pandemic started. If you're looking for a gun to break in a new shooter or to get a modern striker-fired 9mm with a respectable capacity and reliable accuracy, the G3C is a great option. Glock 19 Gen 5. I found the Glock 19 Gen 5 to be a marked improvement on the Gen 4. It offers more comfort and accuracy. Since 1982, Glock has served as a leader in the semi-automatic pistol field. Known for packing a punch despite its small size, the Glock 19 continues to rule the industry. If someone asked me what the most reliable and universally used pistol is, I'd always suggest the Glock 19 Gen 5. The Glock 19 is the answer to the gun owners who think the Glock 17 is too big, but don't want a small Glock 43X or Glock 26. Baby Glock. Some Glock aficionados may not like the fingerless grip on the Gen 5, especially with the shooters I know with large hands. However, The rest of us love the versatility to position our hands any way we want without worrying about being in the finger grooves. When designing the Gen 5, Glock removed the front strap finger grooves to improve the comfort of the weapon. While not the most ergonomic, it does show an improvement upon the Gen 4. This weapon has 4 removable back straps. You can choose between medium and large sizes, with or without a beaver tail. These straps help you fit the gun into your hand. The grip angle on the Glock 19 Gen 5 helps in defensive encounters. While it lacks comfort, it makes up for it by providing plenty of leverage. You can place pressure on the front and back straps for better control while shooting. The bottom of the grip has a blocky feel, but the rounded top prevents discomfort. Using a beaver tail backstrap will add distance between the trigger and your hand, so you may want to try that out for more trigger reach. The Glock 19 Gen is the most versatile pistol on this list, with optimal performance and practicality as a CCW or open carry pistol. The height is still the same as the compact Glock slimline models like the Glock 43X, so it won't print through most shirts if you're not wearing a medium while out on the town. Smith & Wesson MNP 45 2.0. The MNP 2.0 is surprisingly on the list with many heavy hitters, like the Glock 43X, Glock 19 Gen 5, and the Taurus G3C. The most interesting aspect of the MNP 45 is to see a 45 ACP pistol competing with 9mm CCWs. The MNP is a fine pistol and a worthy alternative to the Glock. It shoots well, it's durable, and out of the box is an excellent choice. The ergonomics are excellent, featuring a 1911 grip angle and a fairly narrow grip that, in conjunction with the replaceable backstraps, will fit the vast majority of shooters' hands well. I did find that the slightly egg-shaped profile of the grip, with the narrowest part forward, presented the greatest challenge for me when combined with the length of the 45 ACP's grip, as the gun tended to skew in my hand, requiring more frequent grip adjustments when shooting one-handed. Beyond that, my other biggest gripes were the trigger pull, which I found was easily correctable either through a kit or a trip to a gunsmith for some polishing and reshaping, and the thumb safety's fairly loose engagement, though a little shaping of the thumb safety's detent took care of that. Once those issues were resolved, the gun performed excellently, even without a replacement barrel, and I couldn't find any reason not to consider this pistol a good, reliable carry gun. The gun's reliable, comfortable to shoot for most, and works well. Knocking points off for the grip shape and length, as well as the fairly poor accuracy out of the box. I would advise anyone with fairly large hands to test drive it a bit or pay attention to the grip before buying, as after a lot of time on the trigger, I've found I prefer a fatter grip. Or, alternatively, a grip wider at the front than the rear. Glock 20. How many people thought we'd see a 10mm pistol on the top 5 sales list? I can honestly say that I'm not one of them, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I must carry the Glock 20 out in the open because it's a relatively enormous gun to carry around. I'm sure in the winter months, people in northern states can conceal the Glock 20 under a heavy winter coat and sweatshirts, but you won't be able to hide an 8.7 gun easily in any clothes outside of winter gear. A 10mm pistol is going to give you stopping power to halt a charging 700-pound grizzly bear or 1,200 Olbs moose. I'd probably trust a .44 Magnum against those animals, but they're only revolvers, so a 10mm striker-fired pistol with 16 bullets is a perfect response to the dangers of the wilderness. The Glock 20 is the perfect hunting companion with its great 15 known capacity and the power of a 10mm bear stopper. I've seen many videos of grizzly bears walking through 9mm and 38 special like it was a bee sting. Their fur is just too thick to bring them down if you miss a vital organ. Even a single swipe across the face from a wounded grizzly is enough to take our head off. If you're in bear or moose country, the best thing you can do is have a large caliber like a 10mm for the added power and penetration. Thanks for watching the video this far. With that, we have to the end of today's video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and also share this video with your friends. Bye.